It's time for Mike Erie's show. He's ripping off Cullinane. He wants to find some fans to talk to, 'cause he's lonely on Saturdays. Mike was told to come up with something, and I guess this is what he did. We should give him some points for trying. Kirk wants to know what the point of this is. Just a warning for all you guys. You'll never get this hour back in your life. This is Mike and the Minifans. Mike is talking with you. This is Mike and the Minifans. Mike is talking with you. This is Mike and the Minifans. This is Mike and the Minifans. Mike is talking with you.
Officer Geary reporting for duty. Thank you for joining me here on Mike and the Minifans. I don't know what it is about me. It's my fault that we're starting the show here, and Justin says, "All right, man, have a great show." And that, for some reason, infuriates me, and it shouldn't, because Justin's just being a nice guy. He's a naturally nice guy, and yet it annoys me so that he gives me this little pat on the ass as I get like, "Hey, go out there and get him, kid." I don't know why that bothers me, but it does. And it shouldn't, because Justin's a nice boy, and he does a good job. I'm sitting here in the daylight, which I don't care for. We might have to go later on Mike and the Minifans here in the summer. I don't like that it's still light out. But we're going to, we've got a good show for you. I think the first group on, the majority of them dislike me. I'm not really sure, because they all seem like such nice fellows. But I think they hate me. I don't know. We'll see. It's a mustached group tonight as well. I think R.A. Minahan's got a mustache. So unleash the hounds. Bring them in here. We've got a star-studded cast tonight. Phil from the Mincel Intel show. He made a wise crack about my performance. I did not care for. I said he doesn't talk a lot on that show, and he called himself the blind Mike of Mincel Intel. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Does it mean you're the funniest and most charming?
No, it means I laugh a lot and I go a lot into the microphone.
Damn it! All right.
Do you just agree with everything?
I was hoping for a compliment.
Yeah, I'm a yes man.
Wait a second, guys, you're here in front of me.
No compliments.
Don't I wield any respect here, fellas? This is my show. Come on. R.A. Minahan, who's always a treat and a legend.
Hello.
Red from the Discord, Jesus, from the Reddit, of course.
Hola, how we doing?
And PK, who has been dying to come on. What's going on, man?
Mikey boy, thanks for having me back.
See, look at this. Look at the energy he comes with. He's been begging for weeks to get on here, and now he's got miles of energy. Red, I saw you started the KMS rundown. I was just watching it before this show started.
Yeah. So myself and John and Fez and a few other guys helping me out. KMS rundown started this week. Pilot episode. I hope it seemed like it went pretty well. A little too long, but we'll try and trim that down. We're shooting for 30 minutes is what we're going for, but we're excited about it, man.
Well, it's funny. What I've been thinking is there aren't enough shows on YouTube that recap the week of Kirk Minahan. So I feel like it's good to add another one. Can I give you one piece of advice?
Oh, please. Yes, absolutely.
This is my only critique. I'm being this is not a shitting on you thing. The only thing I would say is I noticed like you'll play so like the first clip you played was we were talking about the Piers Morgan, John Henry thing.
Yep.
And you played like the entire clip. You probably just need to play like a snippet of it just to get the gist of what we were talking about. You know what I mean? Like I think that shit adds up.
No, it's a good move. I can't rewatch it myself. So I rely on other guys and get that info. So it's good to get that feedback because I can't listen to myself at all. So it's good to hear.
You'll learn as you go. I just did the first episode of that stand-up show that I'm doing, and I can already tell there's a lot I'm going to have to change and retool, but I think it came out pretty well. So we'll see. The first episode's always
excited about that. Yeah,
I'm sure you are.
No, I think it's going to be great. I really.
So I'll get to you first. Here,
okay, all right, okay.
I invited you on just because I know you have some sort of beef with me, but I feel like we get along. We have a nice back and forth. So what's your gripe with me?
No,
get that out of the way.
Mike, I feel like you're being sensitive right off the top.
No, not at all. See, people do that with me all the time. Where if I confront something, I'm being sensitive, but I'm genuinely just asking you.
Mike, I don't have a big issue with you. I took umbrage with the Mayo Man last week. I thought it was he held back a little bit.
You think so?
But I don't think it's a good talker. I don't want to recycle right off the top. I'm saying I'd rather talk about Phil first and get Phil talking. You know, then
All
we
right.
can.
That's probably wise because we've done my stuff enough time.
That's
So
what
Phil,
the people are here for. They're here for
exactly.
Phil.
I invited R.A. Minahan as sort of the resident legendary Minifan because I wanted to have Blob on because that's the guy you had some sort of beef with. But it seems like he deleted his account. Do we know if he's all right, if everything's going all right for him? Because I like Blob. He's a good egg.
Well, actually, his account is back now, I think, but it's like private now. But the reason he went dark basically is because I think Steve from Providence was talking to him last night or the night before, and he was sort of like recommending like, "Hey, Blob, take a step back" or something like that. And then Blob took it very badly and just kind of shut down. So
okay, everyone needs sort of a break from Twitter.
Yeah, he was kind of not in a great spot.
Yeah,
It was getting pretty ugly, and I know that I had also said something to him, just like, "Hey, maybe if it's not fun anymore, it's probably a good thing to just kind of like maybe take 5."
It's advice all of us could take. It's kind of what I was talking about.
So sometimes it does get stressful, and when it starts to get that stressful, it's not worth it. It's like in the grand scheme of things, like you're arguing with someone named Phil from Discord.
Well, it's like I was talking about last week, where
it doesn't really matter.
I was getting to a point where every criticism I was like, "No, fuck you," and I was getting like real agitated, and that's when you kind of got to say, "All right, start having fun. This is a fun world."
But that's actually your job. Like this isn't my job.
Right? Yeah.
Like I'm getting worked up over nothing. Yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, but it actually makes more sense for you to get worked up about it. But yeah, I could see where he's coming from. Like he had stuff going on with his family, and it was probably just a good idea for him to kind of take a step back.
So Phil, what is the I know barely what this argument was about, but what was the genesis of it?
So it started out with him coming at me on Twitter, like low key, like it wasn't anything serious. It was just your general banter. I think he screenshotted something I said, and he was like, "Oh, look at Discord, always talking about me all the time." And then we started coming back at him, and then it was friendly friendly meaning like we were just shitting on each other for a while. And then it turned into like a dox threat. Like he came at me with the first letter of my first name, which is not a very common first name, as you can probably gather.
Okay.
And then that's when it kind of got serious, I guess, because he started doing that. And then I pulled away because I talked to Kirk sort of. And he said to kind of step back, and I did. And then he kept going on Twitter. So I don't know. It just kind of spiraled into this situation that nobody kind of wants to be in.
But you guys are good now. And the threats were never, it was never really you guys getting into it. It was just Twitter bullshit, right?
The dox threat was real. At least I took it real because he basically was implying that he would release my information. And in DMs he said he wouldn't, but like just the other day,
I can't imagine him doing that. But
just the other day, some random anonymous account shows up and they're like, "Blob, DM me for Phil's address and name," and that was like, all right, well that's fucked up. And the only reason that's happening is because Blob started the situation. So I just don't appreciate it. You know what I mean? And it didn't have to come to this. We were just shitting on each other on Twitter.
No, and that's what Kirk was talking about the other day. The stuff the stuff with Menners is just bullshit if you're really going after his business and all that. It gets too far when it's going like that. Whether it's Blob or anyone else, I would say it's getting. If you're getting real about it, there's just no. It's for talking about
exactly. And I want to add on the doxing part of things. Like some people, it doesn't matter if you get doxed. It really probably doesn't matter for me. But it just makes me nervous because I'm about to graduate next year, and if something fucks with that, you know what I mean, getting jobs, I just don't want to risk that. That's really it. That's just why I reacted the way I did.
I think that doxing is mutually assured destruction. Yes. As soon as one person doxes someone, like I know people know me, like I'm sure people know who all of you are. People who aren't, out there publicly, I guess. So as soon as one domino falls, we're just going to start doxing one another like crazy, and it's what's the point? So that's why I'm kind of confident that no one's going to really dox anyone.
Right.
Just because of that threat.
Why threaten it?
That's exactly. Well, it's just a threat. That's all it is. It's just like the power of having leverage over someone. But I don't think
even just saying the one letter. I don't know if you guys know QBM, right? Queer Black Male. He came on the show once. It took him 10 minutes to find my LinkedIn and shit. Just with the first letter of my name.
Yeah. It's crazy easy. It's unbelievably easy to find people's information.
Even just that, it's just a threat, but even just threatening it is fucked up in its own.
I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm saying I don't think anyone would actually follow through with it.
So here's
anyone who wouldn't want to be doxed themselves.
I mean, what's the problem? Like, what's going to happen though if people get all your information or whatever? It's not like you're saying crazy shit. Like,
that's the other thing.
Excellent point.
But let's say I'm applying for a job, and there's like 1% of these fans who are psychopaths, right? That are trying to get my address out and shit like that. What if that 1% reaches out to my employer if they catch wind that I'm interviewing for a job and they fuck with that? You know, it's just a risk.
I mean,
it's just a risk.
It's just a headache.
Well, so here's what I've said to MHB a million times when we would do podcasts together, and he would talk about that kind of stuff. Like he would be a little nervous about that, and I would say, MHB, what have you said or done that would get you fired? Like, yeah, it might be an uncomfortable conversation to be like, what? Hey, John, why are you having these weird online conversations? And you just have to say, I'm a fan of a podcast. I have a parody account. It's uncomfortable. But as long as you've never said, if you've not thrown out racial slurs on Twitter, you're not going to, or threatening people, you're not going to lose your job, I don't think.
Exactly,
or is there something I'm missing?
But
I'm proud to be on Mike and the Minifans right now. I've
Had a boy, buddy.
You know?
In my case, the way I see it is, I don't have a job yet. So like I have nothing, I can't talk to my employer. So I mean, it would be pre-leading to getting a job. Yeah. And the way employers work, they wouldn't like, any little thing like that might make them want to move on to the next candidate.
Yeah, you might not even get an interview.
Exactly, especially with students. So I don't want to risk it. That's my case.
It'd be a hell of an interview where you have to talk about blobe.
Yeah, exactly.
And your conversations there. That'd be a hell of a starter.
I just don't want to deal with it.
Who's Steve Robinson, Phil? What does this name mean to you? So then that kind of leads me to the question, though: is it worth it to you? And not that I want you to stop doing it or anything, but is it worth it to you to be on the Mincel Intel show and be on Discord and all that stuff? Because you are eventually going to have an asshole that isn't as nice as Blobe or whoever else and just actually puts your information out there.
Yeah, and I mean, I almost didn't do the Mincel Intel show. I honestly, the only reason why I did it is because I thought we would crash and burn pretty quickly. So I was like, oh, whatever, I'll just give it a shot. We'll just
you're a runaway train.
Phase out anyways. Yeah. So here I am now, but I don't know. I mean, at a certain point, if it comes to like my personal life versus the Minifan role, I'd probably just retire my accounts and then come back as some random alt and just be quiet. Yeah, I don't know.
So how did you guys take Kirk's message this week? Has the Discord settled down since? I mean,
we talk about a bunch of other shit. We talk about the show. Justin took us by storm, I think. You'll talk to him at the next hour. But
that's we'll get to that in a minute. I'm very excited for that. But Red, does that, I assume that same shit happens in Reddit too, or is there just not enough traffic there?
No, it's a combination. It's not as much traffic, but also too, like for the most part, the people that are on the sub, they don't really care about all this extra stuff. Like even if when I post the links to Mike and the Minifans and these other YouTube shows, there's certainly people that are clicking and viewing. For the most part, the comments are, we don't care about the parody accounts and the side stuff. For the most part, they're just meat and potatoes. They want to listen to the show, and that's it. So they don't really get caught up in this stuff as much as, which is why I love the Discord, in that there's a lot of conversation and it's a closed community right away where you're just getting a lot of instant interaction, and Kirk's in there all the time too. So that there's getting interaction with the show as well. So it doesn't take place on the sub at all. There isn't a lot of that. Unfortunately, Mike, there's just a lot of shitting on you, which is,
they all come together.
That's
on Mike.
You are the great uniter, Mike. In that,
I try to be. Yeah,
to come together. So
even in the Discord,
of which, Mike, I have a little issue with you.
Go for it.
Oh boy,
it seems like you're making me out to seem like I'm hitting you up every day trying to.
Oh no, the opposite. I felt bad. Like, I felt bad that you've asked a few times to get on, and every time you do, I forget, or we're booked that week or something like that. I felt bad for you more than making fun of you.
Yeah. No, well, okay.
Well, hey.
Don't take that from me.
Well, you're really bringing the fire today, PK. No, PK. I like PK.
Last time I was on, I was in a tougher situation. I wasn't like at home or whatever. So,
yeah, right.
I don't
know what your excuse this time is, but no, PK seems like a good guy. I have no problem having him on. I just figured it might be better with a few other people, make him a little more comfortable. So my favorite show this week was, I think, everyone's Friday. Some called it a top 5 episode ever. I would say definitely the best of the spring, anyways. Or at least since the coronavirus stuff, I think it's the best. Justin is going to be on in the second half. What are our expectations? Is he a character? I'll tell you this. The first bit of insight I have is that Justin, my intern, my Justin, who, by the way, now that he's old Justin, I just submit that we start calling him OJ.
I'm good with that.
OJ.
All right, so everyone's on board. So OJ was talking to new Justin before I got on, just to make sure his mic worked and everything. And apparently he was eating noodles with his hands. So I suspect he's going to live up to expectations. But do we think it's a character? I don't know. What did you guys think when you heard Justin?
I went through his old tweets. I think it's all legit. He was talking about open-toed pants at one point.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a lot to. It was a lot to unpack.
He's a freak. I think he's a freak, but I
just think he's a weird dude. I mean, there's weird people out there.
What led you to that?
You know what I mean?
I don't understand.
Yeah. But I like it's just a weird, like, you want to think it's a bit, but it's just not. Like, it's very clearly just not a bit.
Does he have kids? Are there kids involved?
I guess so. That's what he said, right? He had 2 kids with this porn star fiance. I don't know.
He didn't say that, did he?
I think he said he had 2 kids.
I didn't think he has kids. I think he's like 21.
Well,
yeah,
I
swear he said he had kids.
In the beginning of the
I would
phone
be surprised.
Call,
yeah.
In the beginning of the phone call, they kind of like Kirk and Mike kind of breezed past it because there was so much to take in. But he did mention that he had kids in the beginning of the phone call.
Did he? We just
I
totally
saw,
missed that.
Yeah, so you got to dig in on that.
Or I
Mike.
did.
I think there's a
I'll
lot
ask
to
him about
mine.
that.
Yeah.
They also just could be the fiance's kids and not his, because he's 21.
Well, she was a porn star, so you know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Do we think has there been any more research into her? Because the last I heard was that she has an OnlyFans account, but didn't have any videos on. And then Justin claimed that she had a few videos on Pornhub, but nobody could find them. Has there been any more? You guys are in the Discord world, so I assume they've been heavily investigated.
I mean, I've been searching Pornhub a lot recently. I haven't found
Putting in my due diligence.
Yeah.
Keep your nose to the grindstone, boys. Keep working.
Press a VPN.
I tried trying to search for OnlyFans and I couldn't find anything. So I don't know if that's a Steve lie or what that was on the show saying he found it, because there's nothing there. At least
Mike, I think you were right by saying she just cheated on him, and that's just a weird way of getting around that by saying she's a porn star.
I'm in porn. I'm an adult.
Yeah, no, it's not cheating. I'm in porn. Don't worry about it. I got paid.
And then it's odd. There's so much to get to with that kid, because he said that she's a lesbian because she hasn't dated a guy or hasn't dated anyone in 4 years. I don't know if that was a joke or what that was. I think it's going to be very fascinating with Justin in the second half, but I don't know what to make of him.
I feel like drugs are involved.
See, I don't.
Just gotta throw that out there.
I don't. I think it's more.
Really?
I think there's a spectrum, and I'm on it somewhere.
Oh.
But I think Justin may be on a different end of it. You know?
I don't know. That choker looks.
Yeah,
like
I was gonna say
choker, dude.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Drugs
very
are involved.
stylish.
Yeah, it's
I'm almost positive that drugs are involved.
So then the other thing from Friday's show, which I think should be heavily investigated, is the Wendy's debacle. Did Kirk ever eat Wendy's? Has there been any more looking into that? I say the man was on the righteous path. I think he was trying to be as honest as he could be. Steve was not taking that for an answer. What did you guys think?
I'll go first, I guess. I mean, I believed Kirk, I think, because obviously you can't pull up a map of like the Wendy's around Winchester at that certain period of time. But if he says there wasn't a Wendy's, and everyone, his brothers that he called and everyone that he called from high school, I mean, they corroborated this story. So I think there's some truth there. And I think Steve's just trying to press something onto Kirk to get away from his hot dog eating contest lies.
Yeah, I guess PK. Did you think? Is that what you took away from it? That Steve was kind of trying to pass that along.
I believe in Kirk. I think he's a known truther. He's not a liar. So I would never doubt what he says. So 100% believe he has never gone to Wendy's.
Red from Maine. Your thoughts?
Well, Kirk has always been honest. I mean, the fact that he's been able to be in the back of a Suburban and masturbate into his sweatpants. He's been a truth teller from the beginning. Steve Robinson has been a liar from the beginning as well. I think you're right on this, Mike, that there's no way that goose story is real. I'm sorry. It's not possible.
Yeah, we breezed over it too quickly. But the idea that he just walked up to a goose, grabbed it by the neck, and tossed it in his bathroom doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I've lived in Maine my entire life. I've lived in rural Maine for a good amount of my life. I've walked around parks, areas in Maine. I've walked around with my dogs. I've never been attacked by a goose. My dogs have never been attacked by a goose. I've never been able to grab a goose and throw it at a friend. These things have Never happened to me in Maine. So I don't know what he's trying to represent, but that's the lie there. Not Wendy's. The Wendy's isn't a lie. The Goose and Steve Robinson, there's a lot of lies there. That need
Maybe he's just sort of a magical soul, like the guy from Green Mile. He can just walk. He cures things, so that they're very willing to just walk up to him.
That maybe that's it. So I think Kirk's telling the truth on that one. I think Steve is the one who's he's trying to create some smokescreen for you there. He's trying to get you off his scent.
Exactly.
I do have to say good job on Steve, because that was almost just an ad read at the end of the show and then end of show. And then Steve happened to pick up on something, and it ended up being another 20 minutes or whatever we did on that.
It was incredible. I was showing it to my wife today just because I was trying to tell her why I was coming on the show tonight and what we were going to probably be talking about.
Yeah.
And I told her at the end, I said, this is 20 minutes of this, and this is an ad read for Dr. Sheffield's toothpaste right now. Like,
that was the best part. That's what really brought it together, is that Kirk realized, how did we get here? Oh, yeah, it was an ad read for Dr. Sheffield's. All right, go to drsheffieldnatural.com. And
there was a lot of that last episode. There was the Alyssa Milano you got off track a couple times.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
you guys kept veering off.
So yesterday was the show that I think we went into with the least, the fewest new, actual news stories of the week. I think the least amount of audio, probably. Like, we got to the end of our audio somewhat quickly, and yet it was the longest episode of the week because there were just rants that we ended up taking that led us fucking to Justin and Quantum Week. Chris's Johnny Carson impression got lost in there, but I thought that was very funny. And then obviously the Wendy's thing really took over. Actually, that got underrated. I think Justin almost overshadowed the Wendy's thing, but I like the Wendy's thing more than Justin's appearance.
And I feel like I liked, and this probably I'd send this question to RA too, but I know on Twitter there's been a lot of questions about whether you like the calls, don't like the calls into the show. Friday was a good case for it. For the most part, I've loved the phone calls coming in, for that last hour of the show.
Yeah.
But I know there's some misses in there too. But RA, where do you stand on where the phone calls are coming in? Are you liking it? Or?
I like the phone calls that aren't about The Sopranos and aren't just like a Q&A for Kirk's movie knowledge.
Yeah.
I like it when you when Jay-Z calls or something like that. Like, it's entertaining. Like, you get some maniacs, but
yeah.
It's when people call me like, "Hey, Kirk, 1990, this movie takes place in Australia."
Quizzing them,
it's Ava Gabor and whoever the other guy is. It's The Rescuers Down Under. Like, how didn't you know that, you idiot? Like, I don't need to hear that every day. Like, I know there's not a whole lot going on, so I appreciate that. But if the phone calls weren't every single day, I think it would be better, but it's really just the Sopranos phone calls that annoy me.
Well, you know what I'll say about those, even though, are that they'll get sometimes get us on a tangent. Even if the call sucks, they might bring up something that triggers something in Kirk's mind or brings up a question that I have that gives us a 10-minute rant. So that's why I don't mind.
But for every one of those, there's 6 Sopranos questions.
Yes, but I think Kirk's pretty good at just cutting them off. Like, when they suck, just cutting them off. Like, there are some Sopranos questions that are interesting and some that aren't.
Have you other 3 guys ever called in?
I've tried to, but it takes like 300,000 calls to get in. I'm pretty sure. So I always give up.
Yeah, I've been fortunate.
So I have a little bit of a theory that Steve is lying about something.
Okay, let's hear it.
I don't think that there's 5 lines, because when I called the other day, there were only 2 people ahead of me. Right. So I heard one guy talk, and then the next guy talked, and then I got on as the third. So I think there's only 3 lines.
It's an interesting.
I think that's what he said.
I'd like to say Steve is lying, but I can tell you exactly what happened if you're that interested. We can choose how many lines there are, so we can allow one person to wait on hold, 3, 10, however many.
Really?
Oh, okay.
So I think sometimes you'll just open up 3 lines.
Because I literally have to call it. It stops tracking after 200, but I've had over 200 missed calls every time I try and do it. But I will say, if I do the *67, I get through quicker. So I think Steve kind of has our numbers in his
100%.
phone, where I've been online before and he's dropped me. So I don't know if Steve. That's my conspiracy theory. I think Steve is
dropping calls.
Yeah, he does have the numbers. He one time picked up and was like, "Oh, JK, what's up?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's PK."
Yeah, he knows.
And Mike had a bad
that
joke.
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So no wonder Menners has never got
you.
through. That's why.
Yeah,
It'll just
exactly.
never be allowed.
Yeah, Steve is definitely tracking those things. But it's
I think my favorite moment from the calls that went very underrated, Red, was you. I hope it was you. You called once, and you had a pretty normal question, and then you hung
Yes.
up, and I go, I believe that was Red from Maine, and Kirk
Yeah.
goes, well, that's sad that you know that. Like, no. I talked to him a lot. He's a good guy.
it was so great. I was hoping. I think the next caller did the same thing. It was perfect. It was like I was just trying to get through to talk Barstool to just keep that joke
That was very
going where you
Oh,
can't
that's
talk
right.
about
Yeah, that
Barstool.
was very funny.
Yeah, so that you guys did very well with that. And Steve, I'll give Steve credit. He played along with it first. Kirk was kind of like dismissing the call for a second, and then Steve went right into it, and then it just kept going. So the improv skills on that show are actually very good. I got to disagree with Mayo on that one for sure. So
Oh, Mayo's a pot
Yeah,
star.
that's what he does. Which I think he's been suspended from Twitter, by the way. I think
Has he?
Yeah,
I thought
has
I
he?
think I.
How?
He was in DMs earlier. I saw him.
No, he messaged me before I came on. He was tweeting at the Red Sox, and he did it 5 times, and I think he got suspended, a temporary suspension.
Oh no,
think
they
the-
suspended like BA too the other day. Like they're just suspending Minifans left and right. I guess.
If you do it consistently, now the Red Sox did it to Mayo, so I don't know where like the Mayo haters fall on that. Are they going to support the Red Sox in that? I don't know. But we'll see.
I was in that Red Sox live stream, and I was just sending like John Henry's a piece of shit. I have a question for Sam Kennedy, all that, and then I was just typing that, and then I realized everyone else. I was like, oh, I don't need to be here because everyone's already taking care of it. I do have to say though, you mentioned BA, a little down on him.
Why?
The guy gets a job on my show, a prime time slot here on the YouTube channel, and he bails on me the first week. I said,
He's
hey,
got
I said, are you still down to monitor the chat? And he said, I got to start next week. Is that okay? I was like, all right, you Canadian fuck.
Who
Do you want to
knew
know
he
why?
What's that?
I said, do you want to know why?
You tell me. Do I?
He's got to go do virtual Easter with his family, which I don't even know
Yeah,
what
he
that
mentioned
is.
something like that. It sounded like a crock of shit to me.
Yeah,
Virtual
I don't
Easter at 7 p.m. the night before. I don't know if I buy it.
He's a very religious guy, I can tell.
Yeah, right. I imagine.
Very spiritual.
All right, we've dilly dallied long enough here, Red.
Right now.
What is your So what's here?
Okay.
What's your gripe?
All right. Okay. So Mike, I took umbrage with last week's talk with Mayo.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to be nicer to you than he has been in other areas. I think he and I have exchanged some messages. The point I was trying to get across to him was 2 weekends ago, your Mike and the Minifans, where you had 5 people with you and you took phone calls.
Same as it is now, by the way. I don't think having 5 people is the end of the world. Like we've all gotten our piece in, you know.
Well, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The 5 people and taking phone calls. If that is lazy, what was the point I was trying to get across to him is that is the definition of lazy. For instance, if it's a sports radio talk show and all they do is just take calls, like John Dennis would if he was all by himself, that would be lazy. That's all that I'm saying.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So here's what I did that week. If I need, I guess I'll explain it.
Please.
I had the 5 people on, and the idea was that the first half, rather than splitting them up into 2 different halves, I figured the first half we all just have a big conversation, and then we can take calls about whatever bullshit. And I think if the calls work, the problem is the calls didn't work. They couldn't hear me or anything. Right. If the calls worked and people asked about different shows or whatever, I think it would have worked because I wouldn't have used it as, hey, you tell me, like, you create a conversation. It was just, what do people want to talk about? Because that was just a week where literally nothing was going on. I think it might have been, did we not do a full week of shows? I can't remember exactly what happened, but there was nothing going on. So I figured we'd have a discussion where we talked the first half and then maybe take some calls. It just didn't work.
Right. And I think with go for Geary, I think you're more patient with the callers because there's that delay where when it was happening 2 weekends ago,
everyone was talking over each other.
With Carano was getting pissed. Like there's a huge delay when you're trying to get on. So and you can't hear them all the time, and everybody's talking over them. So there's a lot of difficulties there. So that was my main issue with that. Now I will also say this has been an issue with me, and we don't need to get into this.
No, go ahead.
because this is not going to be a great talker. I know it's not going to be, but I think there's people around you, Mike, that treat you a little kinder than they should. Don't treat you as an equal, and almost treat you like a mascot. You know what I mean? Like, and I've seen this. Like, they don't.
Wait, I'm kinder than I should, but they don't treat me. Who are you referring to? First of all,
I'm saying, like, if you go up to Madawaska and guys are just handing you drinks and shots all the time.
Yeah.
They're doing it because they like you, but they're also, they don't mean to. They're doing this in a subconscious way, but they're treating you like a mascot, like a lesser.
Oh, you mean the fans? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I think that's hurting you in a way in those situations. So
that would be sure. I mean, for sure, it hurt me there, but I think we're way beyond that. I've understand what my mistake was there a million times over.
Right. I think there's some people in those situations that could treat you that way. I don't think Kirk does that. I don't think Steve does that. So I don't think that's a problem for you there. There might be a problem for you here when you're talking to the fans because you're a really nice guy. People like you. Mayo is a very nice guy.
Yeah.
He really loves the show.
Yeah.
He's not going to go full on. He's not going to go scorched earth with you.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of people have that problem that, I don't. Early on, it was I don't have people on that'll confront me. Now it seems like I almost only have people on that'll confront me. But whatever it is, that people aren't going hard enough, whatever. I don't want to do that, and I'm not as good at it as Kirk. Like, I know a lot of people are upset that I don't go at Kirk the way Jerry did, or on this show. It's not always an argument, whatever it is. I'm not really that kind of a guy. I'll get into an argument, but I'm not, Kirk said this before. I'm not the way he says it, he says I'm not a fighter. I mean, I'll get into an argument if I think I'm being wronged or if I think someone is totally off base. But yeah, I'm not looking for a fight. I'm not, and I don't get excited when someone's coming after me necessarily. So I don't know that every show needs to be this big argument or confrontation.
Yeah, and I'm not one of those guys that's looking for a Jerry Callahan to be sitting next to him. That's not my criticism of you. That was my criticism was that 2 weekends ago. I thought you were going to get called into the office and get fired on that Monday, not because of the prank call, but because of the Saturday night Mike and the Minifans.
No, it was a bad. I mean, it was a bad episode, and I acknowledged it was a bad episode right away. But I think generally, I'm surprised how good the episodes have been, more or less, on this show, because it's me and then a bunch of other people who aren't used to doing this.
Right.
I think we found a good base. Like, you guys here are all pretty good. Matt's usually good when he's on. Andy, Menners, those type of guys. So I think we found a good kind of rotation.
Absolutely.
And I'm actually surprised there haven't been more disastrous episodes like that one.
I know there could have been some really bad ones.
Yeah.
But
what did
you know? What I think is an interesting contrast here is when Phil, you guys had on Steve the other day on Mincel Intel. I thought that was a good show, but definitely a different vibe than Mike and the Minifans. Sort of, you guys were kind of,
what the difference
Steve a little bit, but
well, come on now. I mean, we can't like bring on Steve and attack him. Like that's not the goal of our show. I think we had the big difference between I guess us and Mike and the Minifans is we have pre-planned segments, right? Where we do the prep work and we write out what we want to do and we go through our questions. And I guess we could have actually gone after Steve for all of his lies that BA has collected, but I mean,
I definitely enjoyed it. I'm just saying that's an interesting dichotomy between the two sort of shows.
Yeah.
But I loved that you guys hosted him, that he was actually, this is probably the thing that I love the most about the show is how giving Kirk, Mike, and Steve are of their time to be able to do this.
Absolutely.
So for you guys to have Steve on there is a huge get. I think you guys played it really well. I think you guys did get into the lies a little bit. I want to see BA at the Wilbur asking those questions with a lie detector. That's what I want. I want us to go full on.
I want to waterboard Steve. I don't even screw the lie detector test. We gotta go full on.
Good idea.
KGB on him. Yeah.
On September 11th, no less. It'll be
enhanced
all
interrogation is what it's called. It's not torture.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you guys think of that date? Do you think we're going to be out by September? Will we be doing that show on September 11th?
I think so.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think this is all. I think we're breaking out of this. Maybe that's just my optimism, but I think we'll have a summer.
There'll be another wave of this, and people are obviously gonna have a different mentality when they're getting into large groups. I think, but I don't think the date of the Wilbur will be affected. It should still, and like Minifans aren't gonna not go because they're scared of catching.
Oh
the
no,
virus.
they'll be there. They'd be there if it was on June 20th.
Exactly.
It just might be harder to get there if it's still going on.
Right.
Because flights and stuff like that, it'll be a mess, and especially if they do the marathon, like they said with the hotel situation, it'll be awful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are already here. I would assume the majority. There are a lot of people traveling for sure. I've seen people in North Carolina, Ohio, California, Texas, out of the country even. But I would assume the majority of the 1,100 people or 2,200 are from around here, which is a positive. But yeah, it sucks for the people that planned around June 20th and had it all set. It sucks that just can't happen. But there's nothing we can do really.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to know from you guys is I did the movie watch with the Rocky 5 watch along with the Quantum Week boys and Justin last night. Judging by the numbers, I'm assuming none of you checked in at all.
I was one of the 14 people watching for 5 minutes.
Mike,
I think you are in.
I unfortunately did not tune into that.
I'm not gonna lie. This is the first mention of that show that I've ever heard. Like I didn't know.
Didn't even know we did it.
I didn't even know you did it. There was no promotion. Yeah.
I don't remember hearing about it either.
Why did you do that on Instagram, Mike? Why didn't you do it on YouTube?
We did do it on YouTube. I wanted to do it on Instagram originally, especially because originally it was just going to be me watching Rocky 5 and commenting, which really would have sucked. But I wanted to do it on Instagram. I know Cullinane would do stuff like he did Great Thinkers on Instagram a few times. So I reached out to him to see how he did that, and the program he was using kept crashing. So we weren't going to if we tried to do it on Instagram with 4 of us, it would have never worked. So we just did it on YouTube instead. That answer your question, pal?
Gotcha. Yeah.
All right. No, but my question, I know you guys probably didn't watch, or maybe RA did.
35 seconds of it.
Okay, that's all it really takes.
But you guys are going to do.
You guys would want to see. Is that something you guys would want to see more of, or are you kind of sick of the watch along thing? Because I know we did one with the show. Kirk did one with those guys the other day, and then a million other people are doing that kind of thing, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube. So you guys sick of it, or something you guys would like to see more of?
Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
It's just not my thing personally. Like any of the watch alongs, I just don't like watching other people watch movies. But a lot of the people that I've seen, at least on Discord, like they tend to enjoy it. I think everyone sets aside the time to watch the movie and watch you guys. So I don't think it's getting boring yet, but at a certain point it probably will. You got to spread them out.
Right. Yeah, we were talking. I mean, just during the quarantine, I think it's fun to do because everyone's trapped in their house. So what else are you really going to do?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We were talking about doing another one this Friday. I think the way you got to do it is doing a bad movie.
Yeah,
I thought a bad watchable movie though.
Yeah.
And,
see, Rocky 5, I'll tell you, we picked a bad one because I did Rocky 5 just because Kirk did Creed the night before. We've mentioned how bad Rocky 5 was, and then there was a caller who called into the show and then reached out to me later and said, because I've never seen it, and said, you got to give Rocky 5 a chance. It's better than Kirk saying, watch it. It was not mockably bad. It was just really, really bad. The plot sucked. It didn't make any fucking sense.
Right.
They put highlights at the beginning and end of from other Rocky movies just to make it seem longer, I guess. Like it was an abysmal failure.
Yeah, that was probably the most shocking call I heard all week was when they called in and said they loved Rocky 5. I've never heard anybody say that anywhere. Yeah, that was more shocking.
That has never been spoken before.
Right. That was young Justin wasn't as shocking as that guy right there. So that was ridiculous. So I didn't check in Friday night only because I'm not a huge Rocky 5 fan. But I'm excited to see, the next week, the next movie that you guys do, just because I mean, the fact of having old Justin, OJ, watching those movies and commenting.
He did a great job. I got to say, Justin did a great job. He had some funny lines. He was loose. He was hanging. He was one of the guys.
You can get into his top 5 celebrities and see if anybody can replace anybody in there from that movie.
Exactly.
There's a ton of ways you can go with it. And I love Chris and Matt. Those are good dudes talking movies. So.
They were good to have because Chris will just rattle off a bunch of facts about the making of the movie and he knows a lot of stuff about the director and what goes into all that shit. He knows a lot of trivial facts, which helps in those situations. So I think we're going to do another one this Friday. We discussed what's that Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd one that we talked about? Nothing But Trouble?
Oh, yeah, Nothing But Trouble.
Oh,
yeah.
no, you're going to do Cobra.
I think show is. I think me, Kirk, and Steve are going to do Cobra.
Oh, okay.
I think
So
me
you
and the
guys going
Quantum
to do
Week
Cobra
boys are
next
gonna do.
week as well? You'll do.
See, I don't know. So yeah, maybe if we do Cobra this week, then I don't think we should do another
would do
one the
2 in a
following
week.
night. Yeah, we should do
Also,
the week after.
Rocky
That's a
5
lot
isn't
of bad
bad in
movies.
the same way. As,
Say again?
Rocky 5 isn't bad in the same way that Bicentennial Man is bad.
Exactly. That's
You know
what I
what I
mean.
mean?
Yeah. It's just bad. It's not really
Yeah.
mockably bad. It was just bad. Like I think we did our best with it, but yeah, it just sucked.
Yeah, and
Whereas
like,
Bicentennial Man is
It's just a bad movie.
right.
yeah.
Like Cobra's a really good bad movie. I think Con Air would be another really good bad movie. Like those are good
Yeah.
movies to watch and shit on and have fun with too. So
There's a movie called one I would like to watch it's called The Final Season. It's with the guy that played Rudy is the coach of this team in a town of like 500 people that won 19 straight state championships in baseball, and then the baseball program is getting shut down. It's this horribly bad story with these like caricatures of what you think people in a small town are like. It's awesome. Like that's what I want to get to as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. All right, boys. First of all, OJ is new Justin ready before I let these gentlemen go here.
He's not in yet, but I can.
He's not.
I
Tell
can
him.
go,
Tell him to buckle up. See if he's ready for his big
hope he's got
debut.
his open
I
toe
heard-
pants on. Maybe.
And did you just refer to John Aston as the guy who played Rudy?
Sean Astin?
Sean Astin.
John
you
John,
fuck.
not John.
Yes, I
The guy
did.
who played
I don't
Aston.
even know his name. You jackass.
OJ. OJ.
Get the hell out of here, Juice.
Covered in throwing haymakers and leaving.
It's a juice.
Uh,
Juice.
So while we get new, better Justin in here, less fucking sassy Justin. Is there anything you guys want to get to with me before I let you go?
Yeah, I have one thing, Mike.
Go for
His
it.
book Steve told me to order. Terrible.
Really? What was it called?
The new Gingrich book.
Why did you order it? Why would you do anything Steve says to do?
Oh, the new King. You the guy you advised the
Terrible.
new Gingrich book to?
I don't know.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I'll have to
Not
get it on
good.
tape.
Sorry,
I'll give it a review.
He watches Lincoln for fun. There's no way he's got good taste in books or movies.
Yeah.
There's no way.
But I could see him reading interesting historical books. Or I could see, here's what I could see from Steve, is just him recommending a critically acclaimed, maybe if he's never even read it, but an interesting book that would make him sound smart. I
Yeah.
could see him doing that, you know?
Yeah.
I
I think
know
that's what this might be.
I know the guys who went to Bowdoin College. I've hung out there before. To go to their parties, it's the strangest thing you've ever been to. Where
You've been to
they're
the
all-
Puccinian Society.
I've been around campus a few times, and it doesn't get wild, doesn't crazy. There's never a fight there or anything else. All they do is just sit around, get high, and talk about how bad the current president is for any reason. You know what I mean? Like,
Talking philosophy.
Oh, sounds about
that's
right so
wild.
far, yeah.
That's wild.
That's all that Bowdoin College is. It's not the parties there are the worst. So there's no way that Steve seems like a very nice guy. I just can't imagine he would have a good taste in book because he's so above us intellectually. There's just no way. He's not,
Have you seen his bookcase? His bookcase is full of those kinds of books. Like you
Yes.
read those, like
Plentiful.
Plato, Aristotle. Like I'm so well read.
Cornucopia of literature.
What a douche.
He definitely just
Fucking
ordered. He
dude.
definitely just orders books to put in his book.
Oh,
I don't think
yeah.
he reads any of them.
Absolutely.
Like, there's no
He
chance.
just orders the spine of
Yeah,
it so that it
exactly,
just says cool
yeah.
stuff. That's all. Like encyclopedia.
brutal.
Phil, what do we got coming up on the Mincel Intel show?
I just think we
Justin's
just.
ready to go. By the way,
Cool.
I just think we have a regular show this weekend for the first time. We had a good couple of weeks. We had Zonker, we had Steve, Kirk, hopefully coming up soon. But this weekend, tomorrow, will be a regular show. We'll just go through our usual thing.
I found it very funny. Like last week, it came up. Someone said something about you, and I, for whatever reason, I just went like, "Oh, that piece of shit." Like he knows that. He knows why I don't like him. And Phil is just a nice guy, and he messaged me after. He's like, I don't hate you, right? Like, why? I don't understand why you hate me. I was like, no, I'm fine. I barely know who you are. You seem like a nice gentleman. So I like Phil. He's a good egg.
We made
I
it sound like we had pre-existing beef, and I was like, "Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
don't know why,
I don't know
I just
you."
No, it's funny because the first few times I watched the Mincel Intel show, I just watched parts where Phil did not speak at all. So I forgot he was on the show. So then I just, but he's funny. I like him.
When you're on a show with Will, it's hard to get a word in there edgewise. I think
Yeah.
it's tough.
I don't know why Will is still in. Why is Will on that show, Phil?
Well, he's supposed to be out when we have another guest in, but he likes to pop in whatever he wants. And if he thinks if you mention his name, he can show his face without we're not asking him to come on, but he just pops in.
That's what I like about Justin. You have to beg. You have to be like, Justin, no, please come on. Like get in here. I'm talking to you.
Might have to offer a trade soon or something. I'm starting to like OJ more and more. He's sneaky funny.
OJ's good. The
He's
juice
good.
is good, baby.
He loves John Austin too, so that's good.
John Austin.
Yeah.
And Red.
Did
you just call him John Austin? You call John Austin the guy who played Rudy?
John Austin?
How dare you? How dare you not know John Austin?
That's unbelievable.
Red, the KMS rundown is going to come out every week or whatever.
We're planning every Friday. We're trying to drop it unless there's any conflicts going on Friday nights. We want to try and get it done as early as possible while still listening to Friday's show.
Yeah.
So we try and tape around 1:00, and Nick is pretty confident that we can get that pushed out and get it to everybody by. We're trying to shoot for
12 a.m.
12 a.m. 5 or 6 p.m. is what we're trying to shoot for. Something to count on every Friday to have that. So we'll see.
It'll be tough. The only thing you'll run into is it might be tough getting, especially when people are going back to work and working regular hours.
Right.
It might be tough to get people, but it honestly might be good to have a regular crew. You know, the rundown that is for a company I can't mention has a regular group of guys. Right. So it might honestly be good if you find two guys that work good with you. Like a rotating cast is good too. But
the people that we've reached out to already, we reached out to Lauren Lynn, and we're trying to bring in not only new voices but some of the OGs too.
Yeah.
And they've said that they've been able to squeeze out like their lunch hour, their lunch break. They should be able to do it as well. So I'm hoping that'll help. When we do that on Fridays, but we'll see.
PK, anything? You've redeemed yourself here. Anything to say before I let you go?
Yeah. Well, do you guys actually think that Kirk is going to go on all these YouTube shows? I know he said he's going to go on Quantum Week before, but he never has. So
I know there's one that he's going to be on that'll be a vast improvement. I think so. I know he's going to go on a couple, and I think it should be pretty good.
I think
he's a man of his word. Are you questioning that, PK?
You called him truthful earlier.
He's very truthful.
Would he do the intern?
I'm not questioning it. I just think he said he was going to go on Quantum Week, and then.
Yeah, would he do the intern show? I doubt. Although that's the show I most want to see him on is the intern show, but I just don't think he'll do it.
Just imagine how uncomfortable he'd be like just being with intern Nick, and intern Nick would jizz himself.
Imagine I was sitting across the table when he was at dinner with intern Justin. I've seen it firsthand.
Justin would be sweating more than he was last night with the McDonald's. Man, he would be sweating so bad. It'd be great.
RA, anything before we get out of here?
Nope.
All right, boys. Well, thank you for joining me, and now make way. Get the fuck out of here because the real star is coming, and I appreciate you guys coming on, but we've got a real celebrity coming on. This guy, I don't know if I've ever witnessed a splash like this. I'm trying to think of maybe Stacy, but that took a few calls to get Stacy to be the celebrity that she. I guess Jake might be comparable. Jake from Church Point, Louisiana, but I think Justin is probably the quickest rise to fame in the Miniverse that I've ever seen. Justin, what's happening, my friend?
Hi, Mike.
I know you're not a big fan. I know you're not a big fan of mine. Does this feel like kind of a step down for you being on my program?
I'm a little less nervous, to be honest.
Okay, good. That's fair. I understand. First things first. Did I hear correctly that you were eating noodles with your hands before you came on here?
Sure.
Scooping them with your hands.
We can go with that.
Why is that?
I didn't have a spoon.
So, why didn't you get one? Like, just wash one.
Don't ask me those questions.
Okay, I'm terribly sorry. So why were you so nervous, Justin? Did you have what did you want to talk about? Because it kind of got sidetracked. When you called, what did you want to talk about? I
didn't have a plan. I honestly didn't think I was going to get in. I hear people call in like 40 different times. I called 25. And I was like, I got 20 more. I got time.
Okay.
I was getting my shower ready. I was buck ass naked.
Well, that really adds to the image. I appreciate
you telling me that. 100%. Thank you.
But what? So you didn't have like a question in mind that you were going to ask or a topic?
No. No.
What were you
really.
calling? I'm fascinated by that. What were you calling for?
Just a call. Just to have a
Just to say hello.
Just say hello. Just say thank you. You know?
All right. I mean, it worked out. So the noises you were making, were you kind of like, "Oh, I'm so excited"? Were you fucking with us, or is that a nervous?
No, those were real. Those were real
Just
sounds.
sounds of excitement.
Sounds of pure elatedness.
Okay. How long have you been listening to Kirk?
I've been listening to Kirk.
A few months, you said, right?
Yeah, like 3 months.
And you found him through the company he works for?
Through a place.
Yes.
A place. Yes. I don't know. You can't talk about
no,
most
you
of things.
You can say whatever you want.
I can talk about it? Okay.
Yeah.
When Willie was yelling at Mike, not Mike, you're Mike. How you doing?
I am. What's up today?
Fuck. When Willie was yelling at Kirk, and it was like Kirk was like, "I'm gonna whip your ass, boy."
I don't remember that, but all right.
I was about it. And then I came back later, watched that video again, and started watching the Kirk Minahan show.
How has it been since the phone call? You've become kind of a star. If people reached out to you on social media, what's the reaction been like for you?
I didn't know there was that many parody accounts before. You guys talk about it a lot.
Oh, there's a shit ton.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah. Well, have they all been nice to you? What's the reaction been?
There's one that just wasn't nice, and I think after today he'll be fine. But
what does that mean?
It was mainly because he thought it was fake.
Oh, okay.
So I think he'll settle down.
Yeah, I feel like from talking to you, you're very real. That is what I've noticed.
Yes. Sorry.
What? So your girlfriend or is it fiance?
Fiance, yeah.
Fiance. How long have you been engaged?
We've been engaged since November.
Okay.
November.
And how long have you known her?
Since August.
Okay. And now here's where we really get into kind of a gray area
March,
that you left open.
Yeah.
She's.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Did you say March?
Yeah. Well, technically, I met her. Okay. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm trying here.
All right.
So I met her in March at the deli.
Okay.
And we didn't really start talking until like motherfucking August. I'm sorry. I'm very.
Wait,
I guess
so you met her in March, and this is just so you met her a year ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so you met her in March. You started talking in August.
Like flirtations started in August.
Okay, so like a little bit of texting, a little bit of flirtatious jokes back and forth, that kind of thing.
Know what I mean?
So that took a few months for you to build up to.
Yes.
Okay.
Mainly because I didn't know she was flirting with me.
So you were dating for three months roughly.
Yeah.
And then before you proposed.
Yeah.
So there's that's a little odd to me. Can you explain that for me?
No, I can't.
What do you mean?
So like, okay. I can't. I fucking
Go
can't.
ahead, buddy. You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
No. Okay. What's the question? I lost the question.
Saying why so fast?
Why so? I mean, this isn't the podcast for this. But
what do you mean? It's like the only podcast for this. You got to tell it, otherwise there will be no other. You got to be interesting here. This is your shot, baby.
Do you want to talk about true love? Is this is it the podcast for true love?
Yeah.
No,
I want to hear your version of true love. Yes.
Okay. She had tig old bitties. I was like, hey, no. No.
So she has large breasts.
She's all right.
And that's what made you fall in love.
Not really.
Was there that much of a? You got to give me something here, Justin. Was there that much?
Okay.
Connection?
Yeah, no, there was an incredible amount of connection. We hit it off immediately. I was really nervous about getting to know her kids, which in turn I'm adopting into mine. Is how I have 2 kids. By the way,
so she does have 2 kids.
Yes.
Okay.
I cannot discuss them further per her orders.
No
I apologize. Okay. This is
Take your time.
dead air.
Take your time. Don't worry.
I'm sweaty.
Compose your thoughts. You're what?
I'm sweaty. I'm sweaty.
You're gonna be fine, man. Just tell your story.
She stared at me a lot. She finds me incredibly attractive, which is very odd.
Oh. So she's the porn star, but you're kind of the Adonis in this role. Like you're the one getting glances when you're out to dinner and whatnot.
Yes.
Okay.
That's how it works.
So she came on to you originally.
Yeah, I would say
really?
that. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, and now I'm assuming you're the one who got down on one knee. You proposed.
Oh, 100%.
So it only took 3 months for that?
Yes.
Okay, now you're not giving me much on why and why she said yes. Like, it seems like you kids are rushing into this. That's what I'm worried about.
Sorry. We are adults.
Right. She's how old? If you don't mind me asking?
22. She's 22.
22. And she has 2 kids already.
Yes.
And you don't want to say how old, I assume, or do you?
No.
Okay.
I'm not allowed.
Very young, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very young.
Is that... You don't
Very
seem
young.
to me.
Young
you don't
boys.
seem to me, and I hope you don't. I hope you don't take. I hope you don't take offense to this, Joe. You don't seem to me. You don't strike me as the fatherly figure. Do you worry about kind of being the caregiver for these children?
Yes. I'm terrified. I work at a grocery store full time. I'm busting my ass to provide for me and like 2 kids and her. Like it's intimidating.
Yeah, I imagine that's tough. Now, has her porn career, from what I've seen, is not really flourishing? Does she have any... Oh, it is.
So yeah, the OnlyFans that you guys found is the one that was deactivated.
Oh, we found a bad OnlyFans account.
Mm-hmm. You did.
Would you want to promote her active one?
I haven't. I'm not asking for that.
What do you mean?
Okay. I don't.
Wouldn't you want to promote it, Justin? This could be her shot. This will be big. Do you know how many perverts are watching this show right now, or will
69.
watch the show eventually? At least. So I think this is your opportunity. Promote away, my friend.
I didn't ask for it. That's on me. That's not my fault. Actually, her agent's really mad at me right now.
Her agent is mad at you. Why?
Yes. One of the Minifans.
Yeah.
Not going to say who. I don't know. Found a video of hers and leaked it.
Okay.
She was 17 in that video. So if you guys find that video, just don't watch it, please.
That's not good. This could be a messy situation for all of us.
Yeah, just
going down a dangerous road here.
I'm telling you right now.
So she's been. So that was a video. I assume it got hacked or something. That wasn't.
Yeah, that's
a
not
video that was supposed to be out there.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So when did she?
She did porn when she was 19. She did the 5 videos when she was 19.
All right. And have you always known that about her, or did she spring that on you at some point?
That was like September.
Okay, so about a month into your dating relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was your reaction to that?
I was like, it's a job. I mean,
well, you're not wrong.
It's a job. It's work. Huh?
Okay. So Justin, you're still not giving me like what you guys are just in love. There's no ulterior motives. There's no. Really?
She actually didn't want to get married.
She didn't want to get married. That's not a good time for you.
No, it's not. She didn't want to get married, like, period. It wasn't like me.
I gotcha.
Just like, given the government. Yeah. She'd be really good friends with Steve, except she's a liberal and he's not. So, like.
So what do you mean by that? She lies a lot and kills animals?
I fucking hope not. Jesus.
What do you mean by that? She'd be good friends with Steve, but she's a liberal. What do you
mean? She's very, I guess, not traditional is the word. Steve is big on his beliefs. And so, like, they'd have a good conversation. Just.
I got you. So they might actually hate each other, but they'd have a good, good back and forth. I hear you.
Yes.
So what? Can you explain the choker to me? Is that a typical item of your wardrobe?
No. That was her choker, actually.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So you were just wearing it for funsies.
For funsies.
Okay.
She won tickets from work to a Packers game.
I got you.
Before we started dating, we took a bus down to Green Bay, and that's where I stole her choker. I still have it somewhere in my messy ass room, but yeah.
It does sound like love. So, Justin, what's a typical day for a guy like you? Let's say you're not working at the deli. Are you currently working at the deli during coronavirus?
I never worked at the deli. I worked in the cafe.
What? You never worked at the deli, Justin? That's the one thing I was sure I knew about you.
Mike, you're blind and you're also deaf. Let's duke it out.
Okay, I know. Okay, so you work at the grocery store. You're a cashier,
yes.
But it's all one area. You work with.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yes. I'm sorry.
I got confused. So let's say, are you working there right now during coronavirus? Still, I imagine.
Yes, I am. They actually cut my hours.
A typical day off. What's that like for you?
A typical day off? I don't get those.
Never get them. You work every day.
No,
you just
pretty much
your hours.
Yeah, I work one less extra hour every day.
All right. Well,
they're fun. They're great. I love it.
Okay. Well, what is your life like outside of work?
Outside of work, is mainly just being with her and the kids.
Okay, so you're a man of simple tastes.
Simple tastes.
Interesting.
Simple bastes. Know what I mean?
So,
know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean. Actually, expand on it.
Come, Mike. Come.
Okay, I got you. What draws you to a show like Kirk's? Because you seem like sort of an eccentric character. I don't know that I don't know that you and Kirk would necessarily be best friends. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But what drew you to the show?
Mike, Kirk's really honest.
Yeah,
like he's really upfront and honest, like you guys said in the last hour. And it's just it appeals to me. I get lied to a lot. Apparently, I guess. And so it's just nice to hear some truth.
Hey, OJ, pop in here for a second.
Oh, no.
We'll get old Justin on for a second, just because I want to, if you're in the chat, folks,
Hello.
Start firing away any questions you have for Justin. Justin, I want to see if anyone has questions for new Justin here. But Justin, is there anything you want to get off your chest and tell the Minifans now that you're kind of a celebrity and they look up to you a little bit?
I want this... If this goes away, like tomorrow,
yeah,
that's fine. I'm happy just listening to the show.
Right.
Yeah. Like, this is just...
okay with that.
I'm okay with not being a thing tomorrow.
Okay.
That's fine. So, like...
So there's no other... So you getting married to this girl in a matter of a few months, there's no, tax benefits, or does she need a green card? There's nothing... There's no other ulterior angle there.
No.
I'm fascinated by that. It just seems very quick, Justin. Are you nervous about that?
No.
Not at all. When's the wedding?
Money-wise?
We don't know yet.
Money-wise, I'm more nervous than anything else.
Understandable.
But, yeah. Next summer is the plan.
For sure, even with this coronavirus stuff?
No, it'll probably get changed. But we're trying.
All right, buddy. We'll stay vigilant. Justin, OJ, is there any questions the chat has for the young man?
What's in the door behind you?
Which one?
It's a scary question.
Just either one, I guess.
This one is my clothes, and that one is dolls. Not my dolls, my dead grandma's dolls.
Why do you have your dead grandmother's dolls?
I don't want to touch them.
So why do you have them?
Well, this was her house before.
Okay, and she's
not her house anymore. They're right there. Yes.
But you couldn't get them moved. Like, are you keeping them for kind of a keepsake?
That's bad,
something of hers?
No, I'm not touching them.
You just don't want.
They're scary. No, I don't want anyone to touch them.
What kind of dolls are they? Like Cabbage Patch?
Like porcelain.
Kids?
Like porcelain dolls with them scary, beady eyes.
You can't have anyone else move them? I can understand maybe not wanting to touch, but you can't just get rid of them somehow?
No.
Okay. Anything else?
If anyone touches them, they're fucking cursed. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I understand.
Elvin would love this right now.
Someone wants to know if they can adopt you. Goldilocks.
Are you up for adoption, Justin?
I don't think so.
Would you be willing to let a Minifan adopt you?
Sure. Fuck it. Whatever.
Are you willing to let Kirk adopt you? I assume that's a definite.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Do you think he will after you perform? He seemed to really take to you.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? All right.
No.
Anything else, Juice?
You said her agent is upset with
Yeah,
her right
that did.
now.
You know what?
but you
I
said
said
yes.
she made porn when she was 19
great
and she's
question.
22 now, and I don't think OnlyFans people normally have agents.
Great question. I should have followed up on that, and I meant to.
That's fine.
Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, so it seems like from my research and the research of many other Minifans, it seems like she wouldn't be quite big enough to have an agent. Can you explain that?
So, her agent found her when she was 17.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Again, the gray
She's
area.
like, hey,
all right.
I'm not gonna do anything with you until you're 18. Gave her his card and was like, don't call me until you're 18.
So she was looking to get into the business at that point.
Yeah, I suppose.
Now, Justin, is there any worry? Now, you're the kind of the man of the house. Are you worried about this agent at all? He's talking to 17-year-olds. Does that seem a little shady?
Alex, if you're listening to this, you the man.
But you said she made 5 videos when she was 19, and she's just living off those 5 videos for 3 years.
No, her OnlyFans is actually very expensive.
How
It's just
expensive?
5 videos?
It's only 5 videos.
No, she's making content right now.
Oh, I see what
I
you're
just
saying.
checked my phone.
So say I want her to make me a video. How many greenbacks am I losing?
How many greenbacks? All right, so $80 is the monthly subscription,
Okay.
and then it's a charge.
And
for
what's her name? Do you want to say her name? Give her a little promotion.
Again? You want? She
No,
got fully doxed.
You know what? No,
She got
Justin.
fully
Never mind.
doxed yesterday.
Let people just guess.
Justin, I'm telling you, I think this might be a good way to not even have to worry about paying for that wedding.
Yeah, baby. Your hesitance is wrong. If she wants to be in porn, you should be promoting. And this, quite frankly, this is an audience of men who are home on a Saturday night, already on their computers. So this is the
DEC
place
has
to
his
promote.
credit card out right now.
If you don't want to say her name, that's fine. I think it's
gross.
unwise, Justin.
DC's gross. He's gross. This is weird.
What is her name?
Her name is Cody. Cody Mora.
Cody Moore. And that's with 2 A's, right?
No, 2 R's and an I instead of a Y.
And an I instead of a Y. Okay. Cody
Yeah.
Mora. So I'm dropping $80 a month for Cody Mora.
Yes.
What does that get me?
I don't ask these questions because I don't pay.
I find
to be honest with you.
odd, Justin. She doesn't tell you what she has to do?
I trust her. She trusts me. That's how it works.
Does she want to come on by any chance? Is she there with you right now?
She's not here with me. I'm going to her house tonight. If I call in again this week, wink, wink, nudge, nudge,
Right.
she'll be there.
Okay, excellent. That's good to hear. Okay, so $80, you don't know what it gets me. And you have no curiosity. I ask her tonight, just when you go over there, say, hey, baby, Mike wants to know, he's dropping $80. I got to tell this guy what he's spending his money on.
Yeah, I'll come up from between the thighs and be like, hey, what's happening, baby?
Thank you, Justin.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that image.
I'm going to give you that image every goddamn night, baby.
OJ, any other questions in the chat?
Some people think that $80 is quite a bit when
It
Pornhub's free.
seems a little high, Justin. I got to say. That's why I want to
how many
know
monthly
what she's doing
subscribers does she have?
for $80. What am I getting?
She's in the top 50%, so she's doing pretty well.
What?
Of OnlyFans, of all OnlyFans, she's on top.
50% of moneymakers? They chart
Yeah.
that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know, I feel like you jerk off a lot, Mike.
I don't. I
Does
have a girlfriend that lives here, so
Does she jerk you off?
Sure, yes, in a sense.
Can I interview you right now?
Go, absolutely, Justin.
Yeah?
Fire away, please.
Okay.
Do you want to back out?
No, Justin, I want you to stay.
Monitor the chat.
Justin, I want you to stay.
If Justin wants you to stay, you can stay.
Okay. Mike,
Yes.
how big's your dick? I want to know this.
I would, if I'm being dishonest, I would say 6 inches. It's really more like 5.5.
You know what? That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's serviceable.
Perfectly average.
It's
That's
serviceable.
okay. All right. Now I'm going to throw it to Justin. When's the last time you shit yourself?
When's the last time I shit myself?
Yep.
You heard that?
You heard me, motherfucker.
Probably when I was like 6.
No, Justin. Don't be a liar.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Now,
He's
Justin,
lying, he's
I'm
gotta be
going to have to
friends.
ask you the same two questions. How big's your dick? When's the last time you shit yourself? Because I feel like you'll have a more interesting answer than either of us.
Cody says I have a pretty sizable member.
What would you say if you had to estimate?
If I had to estimate, like 7.
Really? 7? See, now I
Yeah.
think that's like, I think maybe Justin should be in some of these films.
No, I get nervous. I get shy. I can't pee in a
I
urinal.
noticed that about you.
Ugh. I can't piss in the urinal. I can't.
You can't.
No.
Why is that?
I get gun shy.
You gun shy in what way? No one's looking at you.
Yeah, they are. I got a pretty big dick, dude.
So everyone wants to look. When you're at a urinal, like there's a crowd forming.
Yeah, I had a coworker stare at my penis today
I got
It was terrifying.
At the grocery store.
at the grocery store. It was terrible.
What is the scenario? Give me the scenario there.
He sounds like the Mad Hatter, you know.
Sure.
Guys, hello. Where? What are you talking about? What?
That's not a
And
terrible
he-
impression, honestly. Okay.
No. He does that all the fucking time. This boy. Ugh.
And why is he looking at your dick? And I think the better question is, why is he within eye shot of your dick?
I think he's on the spectrum. I'm gonna be really Chief.
Well, I think we all may lie somewhere on there, Justin. But what's the scenario here? Paint a picture for me.
Hey, okay. I drop trout fully to the ankles
Why?
in the urinal in the public bathroom.
Oh, God, when you are pissing at a urinal, you go all the way to the ankles.
No, it's fucking dumb, dude. You think it's real? How dare you?
Okay, so you're fucking with me.
Yes.
But see, Justin, you're the type of guy where I would believe something about it. So I need the truth. I don't know what's real.
Okay. So the urinal at work, it's wide open. No one there's nothing hiding anything. And this time I had to go quick. As soon as I get it out there, it's going. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. We've all been there.
And he comes around that corner pretty quick. Just stares at it.
And you don't say, "Hey,
Okay.
sir, why are you staring at my penis?" Like
No.
he doesn't even try
I'm
to hide
fucking
it.
terrified. I'm terrified. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Justin, we live in the Me Too era. You could say something to your manager or something here.
He hates me right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that? You're not good. You're not doing a good job. Not pulling your weight.
I'm doing 4 people's jobs right now.
Well, then why does he hate you?
Cause I yell at him.
Why do you yell at him, Justin?
Because he mistreats Cody, and it's really not okay.
Oh, so you're protecting.
I
your
shouldn't
woman.
say
respect
that. I shouldn't say this on a podcast.
Oh, who cares? No one listens to this, Justin. Don't worry about it.
Please. I know I said get me fired, but
You're not going to
wait until the coronavirus is done, and then you can whatever you want. I need this paycheck, please.
All right. So you're being sexually harassed at work. Is that what you're saying, essentially?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, who wouldn't want to get a look at that 7-inch dong you got dangling between your legs? Juice Man, anything else in the chat?
I shit myself yesterday, by the way.
You shit yourself yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
All right, give it to us.
Nope.
You're not going to tell us?
Nope.
Justin, how can you volunteer that kind of information and then not share with us?
Hey.
What's the scenario? Where are you?
I am naked in my bed.
You're naked in your bed.
Yep.
And you shit yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Cody's there or no?
No.
Do you do drugs of any sort or drink?
No, Justin. No. Sober.
Never. No. Absolutely not.
Good question, OJ.
Oh, I didn't even spot
this
this.
question. Huh?
Do I drink or do drugs?
Yeah.
No. No.
You don't experiment.
Absolutely not.
No, okay.
Absolutely not. No.
So you're sitting in bed, totally sober, totally naked, by
Mhm.
yourself, and you
100%
shit.
sober.
Why didn't
Yes.
Why didn't you get up and use the John?
My door was locked.
Okay. Wouldn't you have control of that?
I do. It's actually locked from the inside.
Right. Yeah. So that would not. How is that prohibiting you from going to the bathroom?
I don't- I'm tired, dude.
Justin, try and stay focused for me here.
I'm sorry. I had to complete the bit.
Okay, I appreciate that.
You're
so
welcome.
did you shit yourself or not? What are we talking? Come on.
No,
You didn't. It was all a lie.
no, that was 100% a lie.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for
You're
taking me on
welcome.
that walk. Amazing.
Ah, it was a good time.
Juice Man, are people liking Justin? What's the vibe you're getting in the chat?
I hope not.
Some people want it. Some people are saying experiment failed.
Yeah,
Not a big
I don't know.
fan.
I don't know how I feel. I like Justin for sure.
And then some people are saying he loves, like Goldilocks said, "Am I the only one who loves this kid?"
Okay, so we're getting multiple either side reacting to him. Yeah, I like Justin. I don't know that the long form is the right. You seem like more of a short bursts kind of guy. Maybe a long form interview wasn't right for you. Maybe I should have had you with some other people. But I like you, Justin.
Okay.
I think you're a character.
I enjoy you, Mike.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Anything you want to say to the Minifans before we let you go here?
I don't know my dad.
You don't know your dad at all.
Not the way I should.
Now, what does that mean?
He went to jail twice, and I didn't get to see him when I was a kid.
Okay.
I definitely shouldn't bring this information up.
Nah, go for it.
Fuck it. He's an ass.
What are you going to jail for?
The first time piracy.
Piracy?
Yes.
So he was just like, what was he pirating?
Movies.
I've
Big
never heard
old
anyone going to
movies.
jail for that.
Neither did I. Neither
Really?
did I.
How long?
4 years, and I saw him when I was 7. And I went to Las Vegas, and what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Now, what is that? What are you suggesting?
I am not suggesting anything.
What do you mean you went to Vegas? Is that where he was?
When you were 7?
Yes. When I was 7, I went to Vegas. It was a terrifying experience.
Okay. So,
I'm
what
not
did you go
allowed
to
in
jail for-
Vegas
what
right
did you
now.
go to jail for the second time?
The first time piracy. The first time piracy.
You don't want to tell. You don't want to say what the second time was.
I don't think I'm like legally allowed to say the second time.
Okay, interesting.
You want to guess, Mike?
I'm guessing it's a violent crime of some kind.
How would you describe violent?
Assault or murder? Okay, I'm guessing it's something maybe I shouldn't ask about.
Okay. I lied the
imagination-
last time about shitting myself.
Right.
But
Oh, so you're lying about this?
No. I was saying this is different than last time.
Okay. So do you want to tell me or no?
I can't.
Okay.
Can I text you and you not say it anywhere else?
I don't need, you know what, Justin? I don't need to know this one. That's all right.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So Kirk's replacing my dad in the wedding, by the way.
Okay, good. So Kirk will be in your wedding party. You're going to ask him?
Yes.
Very good. Anything else?
Yeah.
Anything else the Minifans should know before I let you go?
No. And I will do anything. I'll be on any show. I don't care.
Okay.
Put me anywhere. Have me nowhere. That's okay.
So you'll do anything or nothing. You're comfortable with however anyone wants to use you.
Yep.
I like that attitude, Justin. I got to say, I don't know if people are going to love this interview, but that's probably my fault, honestly. So I hope you don't take any grief for that.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right. Justin, it's been a pleasure, honestly. This has been an interesting episode for sure. I appreciate you coming on, buddy, and I hope maybe you'll call the show at some point this week.
I hope so.
And maybe have Cody on board because I'd be interested to talk to her as well.
I'll ask.
All right, my friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, brother. All right, guys. This was an interesting episode. I can't wait to hear your feedback on Twitter, but we'll see. You can't win them all, folks. Talk to you next week on Mike and the Minifans. Make sure you listen to Drop the Mic if you're into stand-up tomorrow. That'll be coming up. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Another tough day at work today. Stephen Kirk, think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the interns ruin every show. But it's still where we want to go. It's Mike and the Minifans. 'Cause nobody had any better plans. An R ain't in a hand. The host can't see it's Mike and the Minifans. And nobody's seen real MHB. This whole thing is a sham. You never see him pee. It's Mike and the Minifans.